Hey Stampers, Gaynor again, and I'm coming back. We're going to be making a little bit of a Christmas card with autumn papers. So I did this one. It's, what's the papers called? I've forgotten. Let me have a look. Oh, here they are. I haven't put any of my papers away. They're just literally, Winter Meadow it's called, and I used a piece. And what I did, I backed it on some white cardstock after I scored so I could get my 1 inch. They're actually 1 1/8. So I want to get my pieces on there. These little pieces I added a little bit of green shimmer card, which I found in my stash. And this is the back of the leftover piece of paper that there was. So let's get our, this is the piece. It's literally, it measures 3 inches by 5 5/8, and I'm going to cut these. I know I won't get perfect amounts, but I'm going to cut them into 3 1-inch strips, and I'm going to keep them separate. I've got to keep an eye on my battery. I'd have to run them down, otherwise you end up charging a battery. So I want to keep my pattern pretty straight. So if I start from this side, that's my pattern, the way I've just cut it. This is the back piece. So now I'm going to cut these into 1-inch strips. You might think, oh, what a pain in the bum, but it's not once you get going. And I'm just going to scoop them and keep them that's the way, in the order that I'm cutting them. I know it's a bit of a pain because it's a wintry scene, but I'm trying to keep my pattern straight. So that piece onto there, onto there. I just look at the pattern before I cut it. That piece goes there. And then this one leaves me that small piece on the end. So that goes there. And this piece, which goes here, is for this little section on the bottom of my card. So let's do the same. It doesn't take long. Sorry you can't see that. So 1 inch, put it at the top. 1 inch, put it at the top. And the reason I can see my paper coming through and landed on my 1-inch square. So I'll put it on the top. So it doesn't take that long. You might have to straighten it up when you get down to the last few pieces. But it's done, and it's still in the shape of its pattern. If you noticed, I followed through with my pattern there too. So last one. I know you might think it's a bit of a pain, and maybe I could have put the strips across, cut them into 1-inch strips, but I wanted to do the faux, what's it called as well, scoring, so it looks a bit like a quilt more than anything. I know we did one of these similar a couple of weeks back, but this is a little bit different. So I'm just keeping my pattern straight. So there's my pattern all in order, and I'm going to keep it that way. It looks dead long, doesn't it? But trust me, my card's 5 7/8. So, and the piece was 5 5/8, which gives me the little gaps in between. So I've got a piece of cardstock now. I think this should be 3 as well. It is. I could have done with it 3 1/4. So let me see if I can just find another piece. 3 1/4. I tell you what, I've got, is that long enough? Yeah, that'll be long enough. Very vanilla, because you're only going to see the lines. So let's do this 3 1/4. Put that back in my bin. And by 5 3/4. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Just got to take that little fraction off, and it's 5 3/4. Because my other bit was hanging off the edge, and this, if you notice there's no cardstock. So now what we're going to do, we're going to move this, the cutting blade, we're going to put this back in at 1 1/8, and we're just going to score. And then I'm going to have to turn over now. I'm going to put this one in at 2 1/4 and score. That should give me an inch on the other side. So let's see. Yeah, it does. Now again, 1 1/8. I'm just going to score intervals of 1 1/8. So 2 1/4, 3 3/8, 4 1/2, and 5 1/8. That should give me that space for that little stuff at the bottom. So there's my little pieces. These are where up 1 2 3 4. Oh, wait there now. What's wrong with that piece? What have I done wrong? Oh, do you know what? I forgot to switch it round. Let me see that again. So 1 1/8 is right. 2 1/4 is right. 3 3/8 is right. 4 1/2 is right. And 5 1/8. Oh, I know what I've done. Look, I should have done 5 5/8, which would give me that. So I'm not going to bother with that piece now. I am going to bother with. I'm just going to ignore the lines. In fact, I'm just going to get my bone folder and brush that out so it's not so prominent. Or because I've got lines at the top, I could start 1 2 3 4 5. I may not even need those small bits, so you never know. So I'm going to grab. I don't know how the other one worked out, or did I just? I think I may have scored them 1 1/16 actually. So let's do that round that way. Let's see if this is it. This may be a slightly smaller card. So I'm going to go across the top first. Keep on my pattern. Yeah, this is going to have a bigger gap. I think because I did this about 2 weeks ago, I made this card. I should have got my measurements and wrote it down, but I thought, oh, I'll remember. So this time we're going to have, and this one's going to hang over a little bit, but you won't see this because we're going to disguise it with this beautiful green. So again, let's go that next line down. Yeah, 1 1/16. Otherwise I'm going to have massive gaps. So what I might do is just keep the lines across the top going the right way, and then just pull the top, the other piece a little bit closer in between. Okay, I might just stop the video and start again. We'll see. I doubt that. I'm here now and we're on a roll, so let's just get our little pieces. I could have used my 1-inch square punch, but I didn't. Yeah, I did 1 1/16. That way there was a smaller gap. Like this one, there's a really small gap in between. But I don't mind seeing a bit of space. Just want to keep that level. Perfect. Just keep adding our little bits. I've got to keep an eye on my battery, girls. That is looking cute, cute, cute. That gap's bigger than that one. Oh, what am I like? It doesn't matter. It's handmade, and that's how they're supposed to look. I could have just added them plain actually and just guessed the gaps. I think that's what I should have done. But the pattern is still looking the same. And after I've glued these pieces down, I think I may change my battery. because it's like showing one bar, so don't worry, I will push the videos together, so hopefully you won't see it. I knew I had a gap at the bottom, see, for my other little square pieces. I know they get trimmed as well, but it doesn't matter. We want to make sure it fits on our card. We could put a piece of ribbon down there. We could even trim this up and put our line of green down there. But there's always a way round of making a boo-boo and fixing it. And that's what I like to do. I like to fix any boo-boos I make on camera. That way you get to see what mistakes I'm making and how you can rectify yours. So I'm going to turn it on its side. Going to give myself, I know it's hanging over, but we're going to trim it up. And whilst I, is that way? Yeah, that's the bottom of my pattern. And then this one, just adding a bit. Oh, look at that, patterns followed lovely. Just going to give that a minute because we've got glue on the backs. And you know, I'm quite lucky this this sticks to my fingers, but it doesn't stick to this surface because it's made from cushion lino. So I'm going to just put that on there. I've got my other, this die is from their Awesomely Made. This piece, why have I got, that is for my leaf to get die cut out of. That is beautiful. I've already got my little strip to go down the side. Beautiful. I've got a piece of garden green, which is going to attach on here, so we keep the distance perfect. So that should be tacky dry now, so it won't disturb. Cut it at the top because I need it to be 5 3/4, and then this I want it to be 3 inches. Oh, now we did this one 3 1/4, didn't we? So I'm just going to make this actually 3 1/8 because we got our green piece to go in. I'm just tidying up the ends. So we've tidied up our, oh, have we tidied them up? They don't get it skew with. That's got that. So I got my card base, which is a standard A4 card piece. That is going to get on there, and then this piece is going to get glued on there as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue the green bit on, and my batch is just about to go, so I'm going to change it now, girls. Give me 2 seconds. Jenny's got 3 projects on her desks to film, so this, you could cut this down to 1 1/4 inches. It's just that I wanted a nice, make sure that covered that, and then this is going to get glued right over the top, giving me a nice little border, which we can, you could even add this on dimensionals if you've got a steady hand, but because we're adding our small green piece, which is in the form of that absolutely gorgeous, I think it's an old Granny Apple green piece, but I'm going to add that just on there. Oh, it seems a little bit short, doesn't it? Right, I've got a tiny little piece here, and I'm literally just going to steal that tiny little bit. So watch what I do. To just want to get me pokey tool. Just going to lift. I'm going to poke that under there in a minute, just so it finishes it off. I should have done it down the bottom really. Let's see if I can poke up down the bottom. Yeah, there we go. Stick down the top. So keeping my pokey tool under there, and I get this bang on level at the top. Push that against the side, and that little bit there. Now I'm just gonna grab some cheap scissors. Well, they're not cheap, but you know what I mean. And I'm just gonna slide that, and nobody should notice at the bottom. Perfect. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That's for my leaves. These are ribbon scissors. Should be cutting paper with them. Yeah, I'm just going to pen at the end. I'm just going to grab my I forgot my punch, which I got. And I'm going to just slide that. I hope it fits. Oh, there we go. It got all the way down. And I've pen at the end. And I'm using this as well. I'm just going to slide it in. And then I'm going to look from the back to make sure I've got it pretty level. That's got it. So I've got my two pen-ended ends. Only because I don't want to use up. I didn't want to waste any scraps. So I'm not wasting any scraps there. I'm going to grab some Whisper White. That's not it. That is actually photo. It's not photo anything. It's it was watercolor paper. So save me wasting. I'm going to make sure that's 2 inches. So that piece will go for other cards. I'm going to stamp this beautiful message, and I'm going to do it in Blueberry Bushel. It goes with the gorgeous blue on this card. So oh, stamped a dream, absolute dream. Did I have anything on the inside? No. I'm terrible for not decorating the inside of cards, girls. I don't mean not to, but I forget. I've got a head like a sieve. But there we go, that's clean. Ink's closed. I've got my cute little sentiment, and that's number 4 on the, what's the dice called? These are the stitch nestings. Stitched nesting dies. There we go. That's the ones I used. And then we've got our little, I just poked this green underneath, see? Got my little pearls. Pop them to one side. Need a card. Got our mini die machine. I might get this cut out beautiful now. That's nice and straight. I mean, if you've got space on there, I think you would have done. There's our beautiful sentiment. And then we can die cut our beautiful leaf. What dies are these from? I'll tell you now. I just said, but I can't remember. But look at that gorgeous leaf. And it just pops out of there, beautiful. Another tiny little bit in there, I think. Yeah. There's a tiny little bit in there as well. But isn't that gorgeous? There's one in there. There's one. I think you could just leave them in as well if you wanted to. You don't have to pull them out, but I just think absolutely stunning. I mean, who said an autumn card can't be a Christmas card? Nobody told me that couldn't be. And the gorgeously tailored, I think it is. Is it tailored? No, gorgeously made dies. Look at this. You've got this gorgeous cluster. You've got this leaf cluster. Absolutely. You've got this craggly end. You've got this like a notebook end as well. But, oh, love it. It's the first time I played with those. And it won't be the last. So, let's grab a couple. Oh, no, now where's that going? Down the bottom. So I'm going to put a glue dot there and a glue dot there. I'm going to peel the backings off. I have so much on my desk, and then I'm just going to pop that out. I may need, oh, that's a bit long. I might even have to, let me just see on this one. I'm just going to pop this one like that, and then, oh, that's not too bad, is it? That's a nice little poke out. I think I'm going to leave it like that. Get my glue, and we're going to glue down this beautiful flower in a moment, but let's get some dimensionals. I'm going to put 4 on just to be on the safe side. I'm going to remove the backings. After this video, before I film the next one, I'm going to wash my hands, I think. I might do. So I'm just going to dot. I'm not going to go wild on sticking this completely down, because it's going to sit, and I want it to come over into the green, but I want that lift, if you know what I mean. So now I'm going to come, I'm going to try and keep that level. Before you press, making sure it's straight. Oh, absolutely beautiful. And if I need a little bit more glue, I can lift this up. Just add a dot where I need it. That's better. Stay down. Just going to add a little tip there. My gluey fingers. I'm just going to use my bone folder because they're not as sticky as my fingers. That beautiful. And you want a bit of dimension, so I'm not going to stick all of it down. So this one's poking up a little bit. This one is so cute. Now they came out in the little mini catalogue with, look at me putting my pokey tool away. I need it, so let me just find those new gems that they've come out with. There they are. These are called Blooming Pearls. They've got petal pink, garden green, gold and pretty peach. Oh, I didn't use these ones. Which ones did I use then? Oh wait, they're girls. I'm Gaynor's got to find something else. I can't think where those green pearls are from. I'm going to have a look now. I've got those genial gems. Where did those little ones come from? No, they're not pearls either. Oh, where did they come from? Oh, wherever it was, I can't find them. Oh, I could have... They're not up here. Which I could use, I suppose. Oh, that's a shocker now. I might use those ones. But then I could use the garden green or the pretty peacock. I think I'll use the pretty peacock ones. No, the garden green, because they're more green. Because I've got garden green on my card. Ooh, I'll have to find out where those little pearls came from. That's going to wreck my head now. I could have swore they came from this. But there we go. So let's add. We're going to have a large one and a small one here. And I think I'm just going to go with another large one. I'm going to pop that. Oh look, the backing's not quite on properly, so I'm just going to tuck that under. I mean, I could put it there. I'm going to put it there actually, so it keeps that little triangle shape. Where did I get them gems now? That's going to wreck my head. Because I cleaned my desk the other day and I know they're not out because they're just not out. What did I cut? Ah, look where they are. Look, here they are. I use these. These are 2022, 2024, and these are the little pearls I used. I knew I'd had them somewhere, but look, they changed colour. Even though, I don't know, it must be the glare from the glitter paper because they look a totally different colour. But aren't they cute, those pearls? So there we are. Garden green on this one. Big pearls, and there's little tiny pearls on that one. But look, a beautiful card. We've got Very Vanilla, and we've got the big gap, or we got the smaller gap. Which one do you prefer? Or does it really matter? Because they just give that same... Do you know what it reminds me of? Looking through a window with loads of tiny little panes of glass. Beautiful. It's not a window, obviously, but there we go. An alternative to an autumn Christmas card. Or just an autumn card in general. May the peace of the season light your world, and may your new year be the brightest. See, some people don't celebrate Christmas, but they enjoy having a seasonal card. This is perfect for that. Well, I hope you've enjoyed. I'd love a thumbs up and a share. All glory to our great Lord and Saviour Jesus Christ. And I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.